I really wanted to see unchurched people hear the gospel and see people respond, because when they encounter Jesus, lives are changed, right? And so here is an outreach that you should take seriously. And I think people oftentimes, they just write it off the list because it has to do with students. Recently, in the last few years, I heard about this ministry, this outreach called Jesus Club. And it is a public school outreach that you can do where you do not lead it, students lead it. And if you're like me, you've aged out, you're not a student anymore, then you can get behind students and support them and coach them and be a guest and sponsor. And so it is a student-led club at a high school where they can share all about Jesus to all of their peers. And what they can do is they can meet once a month or more often if they want and have a large gathering. The ones that we do, they usually have a few hundred students at every single large gathering. And then we meet weekly for more of a discipleship-based group. That one now has about 60 students. And we break down what does it really mean to follow. We break down questions. We have Q&A. It's supposed to be much more discussion-oriented and on the practicals on how to follow. Whereas the large gatherings, we try to get evangelist guest speakers to come in, all different personality types, backgrounds, people who have a prison background, people who are straight A's, whatever. We want to have different stories, different testimonies, and continue to share the gospel. And usually out of these hundreds of students that come once a month, about half of them oftentimes are unchurched. Now we've seen over maybe 250 students give their lives to Jesus in the last 3 years as a result of this. And really the cost to do this type of outreach is minimal. And yet the return on investment for the time, the energy, the sacrifice, and just everything that goes into it, I don't know of another outreach that is near effective in reaching unchurched people far from God with the gospel and giving them the opportunity and seeing them respond in this way. So here is a little bit of my day in the life doing Jesus Club. Check it out. So I'm going in as a volunteer. My technical responsibility is I am a guest sponsoring leader, or you could be a pastor. It doesn't really matter. And I'm just here to really get behind the student leaders that support the club. So we're meeting in the library today. This is a small gathering that we have. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with prayer. Students are going to share testimonies. I have a guest speaker then today who is actually one of the students who graduated from this high school years ago. And she's going to share her story today and her testimony. And that's going to be our main message. And then we'll have some Q&A. And they will all go back to classes. It's only about 30 minutes that we have with the students in the library. That was our Connect, our small group that we do. It's more discipleship oriented, and we still have testimonies, but it's really where we do like the deep grow, ask questions, have more discussion, and really just have more time for students to get to connect to one another who are really serious about what they got out of our big gathering. And let me show you what that looks like right here. All right, so if you want to learn more about this, I'm curious. I may be making some more videos, but I want to make sure the interest is there. I fully believe in this outreach, and there's a lot of resources on the internet that I can give you, but I'd love to hear from you. Send a comment. Let me know what you have questions about. Let me know maybe what you love about this outreach, what scares you. Maybe you're against this outreach. I'd love to hear why. But let me know in the comments what you think, what questions you have. If you would like me to share more videos about how you can help sponsor and coach students in forming their own Jesus Club outreach, I would love to hear about that in the comments below. And then be sure to check out my other videos because I love to talk strategy and disciple making. And that is why this video was so important for me to share with you, because it is highly strategic. It is still a huge opportunity.